Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be adding a couple more 10-foot 4x6 posts to the carport that I built 6 months ago, and I'm doing that in preparation for some intense monsoons that are likely to come at the end of July and in August. So I want to do a check-in as well because, like I just mentioned, I put the carport initially in the ground 6 months ago. I finished the roof about 2 months ago, so I want to show you guys how it's holding up. And then I'll show you these posts that I'm going to put in the ground and where I'm going to put them to give this carport some extra structure and rigidity, so that when these monsoons come in a couple months, hopefully it's going nowhere and it's going to stand the test of time. So here's a little glimpse of the downtown Phoenix neighborhood that this property is located in. Really beautiful day right now. You can see my garden bed has some wonderful grass and weeds, but other than that, it is a beautiful day. So here is the carport, and again, I built it on 6 4x6s in the ground, but again, they're only in the ground vertically. And so what I want to do is add some extra structure in the middle at an angle, because again, this roof is sloped backwards like this. So what I don't want to happen is a big wind come through, catch this, and then start to rock this structure. I want it to be extremely solid. So what I'm thinking about doing is putting some posts right here in the middle, towards kind of the front center, and then dig a hole, put a couple posts, one at an angle like this. And again, because if the wind hits it, I want it to be really secure, and then another one straight down just to kind of help, again, support the weight in the middle here. So that's my plan. So I have some work to do in getting the big hole dug. And again, the ground is super, super hard. If you saw my original video, it's like impossible to dig right here. So I have the jackhammer just in case if we need to break the surface. But I'm gonna go ahead and paint these to match, paint the posts gray so that everything is ready to go. So let's get going. All right, about 30 minutes later, I am halfway to China with a 2-foot hole here. And again, I needed to make it wide enough so I can fit both of the posts here. I'm gonna put one straight up, at least that's my plan so far, and then one at an angle towards the front of the carport. So, and then I'm gonna get them stood up here in just a second and make sure that they are lined up nicely at the top. And then I have lag bolts for each side to go through these 2x6s into the 4x6s, and hopefully everything comes together nice and tightly. And I got to do all that before I start mixing concrete. So I just want to make sure everything is set and aligned before we start throwing concrete in the hole. All right, so I got 2 posts in the ground here, nice and tight. And then I was able to get both of the 4x6s in between the center 2x6s here. And I got a wood clamp on one of them to make sure it's nice and tight. So now I can go around with the drill and throw in some lag bolts. And then I think the last thing that I do, just in case I need to make any final adjustments, is mix up some concrete here. And I got 2 bags, 80-pound bags of concrete, bucket to mix it in, shovel, and then got some water as well to mix it all together. So I'm just gonna go ahead and screw them together, and then we can finish with the concrete. Holes drilled, 2 there, and then on the flip side 2 and 2 as well. And then here are the lag bolts. I'm gonna be using 4-inch lag bolts, and someone had made a comment on my original build that I should be using washers with my lag bolts. So I appreciate that tip. And now all of the wood building and structural building that I'm doing, I'm using washers with my lag bolt. So I really appreciate that, so that everything is as secure as possible. So I'm gonna pop 2 here, repeat on the other side, and then get to mixing some concrete. So the concrete is all done. I'm gonna wait just a second before I throw some dirt to finish it, just so it dries a little bit. But I wanted to take a second to explain this V design, and ideally what it's gonna do is help in providing some additional assistance to these vertical posts right here. And if a big windstorm comes through and, you know, wants to rock this back and forth, the idea is that these V-shaped posts will take some of that, you know, back and forth movement and direct it down towards the ground. And specifically, I'm preparing for these big monsoon storms, or the haboobs, if you've heard about that, which are just huge, you know, mile-high walls of sand that rip through the desert. You know, so there's some pretty intense, you know, I would almost call it hurricane force wind that comes through. So I want to make sure that this thing is going absolutely nowhere during storm season. So again, just having vertical posts made me a little nervous. So I wanted to also support the weight on top, because there's a lot of lumber and about 300 or 400 pounds of steel with all the panels. So again, this not only adds to the kind of architectural aesthetic of the carport, but you know, adding some structural support there as well. All right, guys, so I finished the project for today. Only took me a few hours this morning, which was nice. We got the 2 new posts behind me, which I'll show you in a second. Just needed to get those up, throw some concrete around them, get them lag bolted as well. And again, it's been 6 months since I put this massive structure in the ground. So I want to show you guys how it's holding up 6 months later as we head into the summer season and those big monsoons that I was talking about. So thanks again for watching. If you're able to give me a like on the video, I would really appreciate it. Let's go do a progress check on the carport. Let's do a little walk around. Here is this massive driveway area. Perfect for a carport. So you can see there it is, looking good. Each carport is 12 feet wide, or maybe 11.5 with the post. So plenty wide for a 6-foot vehicle. And even with these new posts in the middle, you can still open a car door, no problem. So again, here are the houses, and then 1 carport per unit. Everything is freshly painted as well. We got that nice gray. And then here's how those new posts look in the ground. Again, I think it makes it look really sleek, and obviously adds that structural element, which is super important. And that was the whole point of doing this. So not a super hard project, and I'm excited with how it came out. We got the lag bolts up here, and again, all of the compressive force from the roof. Now I don't have to worry about it, you know, causing a sag or anything over time, because these posts are going to be able to take the weight no problem. And again, it is nice and shady under here. It just looks so sleek and new. I am really excited about it. There's my car sitting in the sun all day because I was working under here, but now I could pull it under the carport if I need it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Until the next DIY video, we'll see you later.